Let's see. Oh, Katina, you jumped on. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good.
Ace, how are you? We're live on Facebook. Oh, fantastic.
Everybody, good morning. Good morning.
All right, that's cool. I always like doing the live Facebook thing. So let's see. Who do we get on here that can help? Who wants to volunteer to field questions on Facebook? Since I can't see them from here, who wants to volunteer? Shane. All right, Shane put his hand up first. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate that. So we got some cool stuff going on today. So hopefully you guys can all see those slides, right? So let's see. First off, welcome. It is officially Saturday. It's July 22nd, which also means that there's just over a week left in the month. I hope you guys are pushing strong. The last week is always a fun time. We always push really strong to end the month strong, so hopefully you guys are pushing strong. If you guys are brand new, you've never been on a webinar before, if you're brand new to network marketing, if you're brand new to Now Lifestyle, if you're brand new to just building a business online, I want to welcome you guys and also know that we got some special things for you today. Some of it is a little high level and some of it is very, very basic. So I always like to cover the basics first because the basics are very, very crucial to your own personal development and your own success. But also today, too, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about two very, very specific things that are essential, absolutely essential for your success with a business online. And a lot of times, people think about them, but they also get overlooked as well. And I want to cover those, and I want to cover those in a little more depth than we normally would. So first things first, what you guys are going to learn today, like I said, the basics. We're also going to talk about real life, real people, and real results. So these are everyday folks just like you and me. And a lot of times when I'm on here doing these webinars, you guys hear about me or my story or Joel's story. But I also want to introduce to you guys some just normal everyday folks from all over the world that are using and building a business online and having success and having results. And they're going to share a little bit about what they're doing, what made them build a business online, and also some of the results that they have gotten too. So you'll be able to hear that, you can do this. Anybody can do this business. It just starts with a decision and then builds from there. So, and then we're going to talk about those two simple elements that are crucial for your success online. Okay. So number one thing that I like to talk about every single webinar, every time that I do any webinar, whether it be personally for my team or here with you guys on our Saturday webinars, is starting with the basics. Now, although it sounds really, really simple, what you guys need to do first, if you're going to build a business online or if you're going to have any type of business, a brick and mortar business, if you want to run a quickie mart, if you want to run a gas station, if you want to start your own restaurant, if you want to start a landscaping business, if you want to start a business online, whatever type of business, affiliate marketing, network marketing, email marketing, blogs, all of that stuff. Everybody starts a business because they want a result. So you just need to decide in your life that you want that result and make that decision, like really make a concrete decision that you want that result in your life. And once you make that decision, then nothing will get in your way. If you ultimately make the decision that, yes, I want a result in my life, then you just have to figure out, everything else you'll figure out along the way. And you guys are going to hear from my special guest today. They've made their decision. Obstacles have gotten in the way, but they go around them. They go through them. They go over them, under them. They keep going because ultimately they made that decision that, yes, I want a result, whatever that result is. If you want more time to travel the world, to spend with your family, to, if you wanted to travel around and visit every single baseball park in the United States and you wanted to do that, then if that's your result, great. Or if you just want to be, like my decision was to be here, home with my family every single day, I wasn't going to quit until I got that, okay? So number two is just taking massive action. Now, what does it mean to take massive action? In today's day and age of network marketing, it literally just means getting people to click on your link, getting as many people as possible to click on your link, because everything else with the business that we're talking about here is all automated. Days of writing down a list and calling, all your friends and family and calling up Uncle Phil and saying, hey, Phil, I got this thing. I think you should look at it. And Phil's like, dude, that's a pyramid scheme. You should get out of that right away. And then you feel defeated. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that anymore. Building a business online has been getting easier and easier and easier with all of the tools, training, tips, technology, and everything that we have. So you just have to take action. And one of those, here's a little hint, is that one of the things that we're going to talk about has to do with taking action, okay? And so number 3, you got to stay consistent. Build a routine for yourself and do the same things every day. And if the same things that you're doing aren't getting you the results that you want, then all you got to do is just tweak what you're doing a little bit. And if you're not getting the results that you want, it simply means there's just something that you don't know. That's it. It's not like you stink. It's not like you're horrible at what you're doing. You just need to figure some other things out. And if you're resourceful, if you are someone who, again, you've made that decision because you want a result, then all you have to do is just figure out what it is that isn't working, tweak it, and keep going, all right? And then obviously number 4, guys, is just never quit. And some of the folks that you'll hear from today have some great stories, really amazing stories of what has happened to them over the years, or even in the last year. Don't mind my dogs barking over there. What has happened in the last year, and for some people that would just be the end game over. But they have kept going because of that decision, that number one thing, that decision. So make sure that you guys are, in tune to what these folks are going to talk about today. All right. So first things first. Remember, and always remember this too. So everything that we talk about today, everything that I've learned in the last year and a half of being online, everything that the folks that are talking today and sharing their stories, all of the technical stuff, all of the spiritual mindset stuff, everything that we're going to talk about, just remember, guys, that success is a learnable skill. And also success leaves clues, okay? Success leaves clues. So listen and follow along with what some of these top leaders are doing. Emulate what they do. Model what they do. And, some of the people that you're going to hear from today, take notes. Listen to their story. These are real life people that you can learn from. And they're just normal, everyday people that had a job and they wanted more in life. And now they're making that happen. So if they can do it, you can do it too. So like I said, success is a learnable skill. You should write that down too, because when you guys write things down, you record it into memory that much more. All right. So that being said, let's bring up our first guest. I guess we'll start with ladies first, right? I would like to invite my buddy, partner in crime from the Windy City, Juana Temian from Chicago. So Juana, if you want to pop on here, and all you got to do is hit that little talk now button, and then you'll be up and ready to go. Hey, there she is.
Hello. Good morning.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. Good to see you. I feel like it's been like a whole like day since I talked to you.
That's true.
That's true. So Juana, do me a favor. Why don't you, let me just double check my slide here. Yep. So if you would just, kind of obviously introduce yourself to the group and share with everybody, what got you started online and what have been some of your struggles, what have been some of your results, what keeps you going, and just share that with the group.
Okay. So hi, everybody. I'm from Chicago, and what got me started is my son, and he's obviously the main reason that he's 5 now, and he's really energetic. I can barely keep up with him. But he started coming home, obviously, from school and from daycare, and always asking to do either soccer or karate because his friends are doing it, and he wants to just participate in a lot of things. And I always had to say no to him in the beginning because I was at work. I started looking for the classes just to see if I could accommodate any of them. And to my surprise, most of them are billed for either babysitters or stay-at-home moms because there are times when normal people work. So I got really frustrated because I could not find a classroom that would be after 6 p.m. or on the weekends. And most of them recommended me that if I sign him up for the program, he needs to show up at least twice or 3 times a week in order to really learn it at this age. So I was stuck. After that, we moved to USA just with my mom. I have a brother and a sister, and I had to work from day one. I was in high school when we moved to Chicago from Europe, and I had to start working from day one just to help my mom, provide for the family and everything else. And I didn't mind the hard work. I just knew that I did everything I was supposed to this point. So I put myself through college all by myself. I paid for it and all that. And I was working full time all throughout it and everything. But my job after, every year when you go to that review, your raise is what, 2 or 3%. I was not happy with that. So that was my second motivation. I was like, this is not possible. That in order for me to get to a 6-figure income, I would literally have to work for them for 30 years. And so that was another thing that it was just not acceptable for me. So I had to find a different way to make more money and to be able to spend as much time as possible with my son, especially in these years when he still accepts me before he's a teenager and he doesn't really care about mom. All he wants is his friends. So that's one or two, actually, of my reasons why I started looking online. And I have to admit, it's been a journey. It still is. I had no idea on any of the technical part of it. And I've spent basically, I think the first 3 months or so, all my weekends, all my nights, just going through YouTube videos and all kinds of learning programs and coaching and everything I could get my hands on just to be able to learn the skills to put together a sales page and to send emails out and what's, the psychology behind it and all that. And when I was done with all that, I got a little bit brave and I drove my first paid traffic, to say it like that. And I got really excited because from that first run, I got 2 sales. So I finally started seeing that, yes, it's possible to see making some money online. And that really boosted my confidence. And from there on, I never stopped learning. I think the biggest challenge, though, in all of it, because the technical part, let's be real, there are so many YouTube videos that you can just go and do it along with them. And it's kind of like an over-the-shoulder training course, and they're free. But the biggest struggle is to really get into the mindset and to change that for yourself and to really, really believe in it. Once I started believing that the law of attraction really is true and it really helps in anything you do in life, things started happening. You have to picture it, you have to see it, and you have to believe in it 1,000% for it to actually work for you. Because if you do it today and tomorrow you're like, oh no, this sucks, I can't do this, then nothing will happen. You have to wake up every day with that drive and that belief that if you put in the work and if you show up every single day, no matter what your dream is, it can be accomplished. So that's my story, at least for today.
Yeah, I think you brought up a really great point with mindset, and oftentimes you guys have heard me talk about, I've done other Facebook Lives in the group chat about having the right mindset, but more specifically using affirmations and having that mental picture of what you want. And Juana, I think you said it really well, because you have to picture in your head and really in your heart and your mind and everything of what you want. So for me, I sit right out here. I'm in my kitchen now. I sit right out here on my deck every single morning, and I say, affirmations. And a lot of people, maybe in the beginning, it's a little tricky. They don't quite understand like what the point of it all is, because it might sound hokey, it might sound corny or whatever. And I can see we have some comments here that yes, it does work. It 100% works, because you have to be thankful not only for what you have, but you also, at least for me, and I think I speak for a lot of positive, like-minded people here, is that you need to be thankful for what you don't have yet. And that is the tricky part for some people, because, when I say my affirmations, I'm saying I'm thankful for my beautiful home. And it's like, yes, I'm sitting in my home, but I'm also picturing like the in-ground pool that we haven't put in yet. I'm picturing the new deck that I want to have built. I'm picturing modifications to our home. I'm picturing a new RV that our family is going to drive around in. And, when I say I'm thankful for my business, I'm picturing the commissions in my back office. I'm picturing, the money being transferred into my bank account. I'm being thankful for the things that haven't come yet. And I know, Juana, you do some similar things as well, right?
Exactly. And it's like, if you wake up and that's the first thing you think of, and you go to bed dreaming of those things, and there's nothing wrong with dreaming big. The bigger your dreams, the better chance you have of accomplishing them.
100%.
Then you can make it happen. And if you guys need help, reach out to me. I do have kind of like a questionnaire type looking thing so you can put together your vision board, I call it. It's a couple of pages. It asks really detailed questions, but once you fill that out and you read it to yourself every single day, it does amazing work for you. And don't be afraid to go online and look for pictures of stuff that you would want. If it's a house or vacation spots or anything at all, just put it on the vision board, look at it every single day, and you're going to get there.
Yeah, vision boards are huge. And again, it's one of those things like affirmations that people might, they might think that it's not an important thing, or I'll get to it at some point. And when you're first starting out, like one of the other opportunities that I was with, is that was actually one of the first exercises you had to do before you could start marketing, is you had to create a vision board. You had to create that thought and that picture and that image in your mind of what you wanted before you started marketing. And if you guys think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because instead of just running out and driving, traffic and telling everybody all about your opportunity, when you start building a foundation of images and thoughts and memories and all of this stuff that you want in your life, it gives you a really good foundation to build off of when you start building your business. And it also gives you drive. It gives you motivation. Because if you're sitting at your desk and you look up and you see your vision board up above you every single day, it's like, wow, yep, there it is. I got to keep pushing. I got to keep doing what I got to do. So Juana, thank you. Yep. Juana, thank you very, very much for sharing your story. And now, why don't we, Juana, feel free to continue to chime in if you want. You can hang out here. And why don't we bring on my man, Shane, who's become one of the top leaders on my team. He's doing a lot of, and he's had a lot of success with the dedication to really honing his craft. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But Shane, why don't you share with everybody, what got you going, what got you started online, maybe some struggles that you've had, and also some successes that you've had as well. So welcome, buddy.
Thank you. So earlier I was thinking about what I'm going to say to kind of help folks here. I completely drew a blank, so I'm just going to start from the very beginning. How's that? I think about a little over a year ago, I got started with another network marketing company, a traditional network marketing company. And while this company's online, it really doesn't have a lot of resources for folks. There wasn't a lot of education for folks to start networking online. So I found myself trying to find those resources, and of course that took me to Online Sales Pro, and then of course it took me, and from that I basically discovered Dan, and I thought, wow, here's somebody who's doing something that I want to be doing. I recognized what he's doing, and is that he's branding himself as a mentor. He's up there. I just started following him. I think one of the biggest things that I've discovered through this whole process is one of the most important things is to find a mentor. If you want to accelerate your success, find a mentor. And I'm not talking about someone who, someone's gonna hold your hand through the entire process, or even personally educate you and mentor you. I'm just talking about somebody who you can join their team, and is everyone hearing me? You hearing me? Okay. Thumbs up. I'm not just jawing around. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. Sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to, if you want to accelerate your success, you just have to find a mentor. And like I said, that's not somebody who's just going to hold your hand and teach you every single day. I'm just talking about someone you can join their team and start being educated by that person just by following them, doing what they're doing. You'll hear Dan say this all the time. Success is a learnable skill, but it's also replicatable, in that it's something that you can just continue to do over and over again. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You just have to follow along. And, when I first got started, I was really, really struggling until, I found this team, until I found Dan, and Dan brought me into the team, and I just started doing what he's doing, replicating and trying to brand myself as a mentor, as an educator. And that's one of the hardest challenges for me, is just getting to that point where I can see myself as an educator, as a mentor. And I think,
hey Shane, can I chime in for 1 second there? I don't mean to cut you off, but honestly, you picked up with me like the first week of April, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
And I don't know, what's it, like two and a half months. Dude, I've seen you grow so much in the time that we've been together, because whether you know it or not, like, I watch all your YouTube videos, and you have been, in the beginning, Shane really wasn't making many YouTube videos at all, and now he's cranking out YouTube videos, and just the level of detail that you're putting into your videos, you're very explanatory, if that's a word, but you go very much into detail, and I could see that mentor and that coach and that leader out in you, and you're really becoming a go-to person in this industry. So, I mean, I've seen you grow huge in such a short amount of time. And, whether it's me or plugging into the team, or just you coming out of your shell, or a combination of everything, and to know that you can do that, like anybody here watching this can do that. But I just want to say that I'm very, very proud to see your growth, your own personal development, and really your own results and success in such a short amount of time. So awesome job, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's certainly that's been the biggest struggle, is just getting out of my own skin, stepping out and being comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? I mean, this is something that I've resisted for a very long time. I mean, going my own career, I've resisted becoming an educator and coach for a lot of different reasons, but basically I never really saw myself as an expert. That's the biggest thing, is that you don't have to be an expert. you really do not have to be an expert to be a coach and mentor. You know, you can learn something and just turn around and reteach it, and again, to brand yourself as that type of a person. And there's a lot of different ways to get to where you want to go, but I see one of the quickest ways to get there is exactly what Dan has done, and that is to brand yourself as that coach and mentor, and people will just naturally come to you, right? I mean, you want to get to the point where, you know, you're not having to go out and approach other people. They just naturally come to you. So, you know, learn to step outside of yourself. Learn to really just become comfortable with the uncomfortable, and start talking. Put yourself out there, and you will start to see that success. And you know, I could start talking about some of the things that I've been doing. If you want to talk about that now, when it regards to PPC, if you want, but I don't know if you want to hold that for later or what. But
Yeah, I mean, we can get into the some of the more technical stuff, or not even technical stuff, but just some of the overview in a little bit. But I mean, I think one of the things that you have done specifically is first you became a student. You know, you became a student of the process and figuring out what it's going to take, because, you know, ultimately you made the decision, which we talked about earlier, and you knew that the results that you were getting before weren't as good as the results that you could get. So you became a student, you studied something, and now you took action, you put that into use, and now you're getting some really freaking good results because of that.
Yeah, the theme that you'll hear over and over again from us is mindset. And that is huge. Mindset is about making that decision. You know, I grew up in a family, more of a traditional family, where, you know, my granddad told me all the time to be a man of integrity, and that if you say you're going to do something, you do it. Even if you changed your mind later, you've already committed to doing it, right? So it's about making that decision, saying you're going to, and then getting it done, regardless of how you feel about it later, because you've already committed to it. So, you know, I that kind of ties together for me. That makes a lot of sense when we're talking about mindset. Just making that decision, and regardless of any setback that you may encounter, to continue to push through and get to where you want to be, right? I mean, that's what we're all here for. We all have a goal in mind. We all want to be in a specific position where we can spend either more time with family or friends, and we want to travel, those types of things. And I mean, if that's not what you wanted, you're probably in the wrong place. That's what we're here because of that. So, but I don't know where I was going with that, Dan.
You gave a good overview, and so let's move on. I think we were going to bring our buddy Matt on here, who you guys have heard from before, but he's having some Wi-Fi technical difficulties, and if he can make it on, great. He can certainly come on board and share his story, but if not, then you know, we can certainly catch up with him next time. So now let's get into some of the, you know, slightly more high level, but not really. I mean, it's still along the lines of basics. But if you guys caught me on the Facebook Live I did right before we went live here in the room, I mentioned that there are two specific things that you guys need that are absolutely 100% essential for your success online. Now, a lot of the things that we talked about, Shane shared, Juana shared, I shared, is that, you know, when you look at the basics, you gotta make that decision. You gotta start taking action, which was getting people to click on your link. You know, staying consistent and never quitting. So those are all good things. Having a good why is a good thing. But, you know, do you guys have any guesses as to what two very basic, simple things are 100% essential. And regardless of why, regardless of, anything else, if you don't have these two things, plain and simple, you will not have success. And it's impossible. It's physically impossible to not have these two things, regardless of any other thing, any other mindset, any of all that stuff. Like, those are all good things, but this is, Seb, you do have to have an autoresponder. That is key. Email marketing is key. So, number one, and these, now, if you guys just focus, and Shane is a good product of this, as is Juana, and as is Matt too, and Matt has some really good things to share, so hopefully he can make it on here, is that if you have to have these two things, and both Shane and Juana and Matt as well have done a great job over the last few months of really crafting themselves in these areas. So the number one most important thing, or not maybe number one most important, but one of the things that are absolutely essential, 100% essential with your success online. And like I said, if you just focus on these two things and you kind of have that my business is simple sort of mindset, and you just focus in these two areas, you will see your results get better quicker. Okay? So number one, sounds really simple, but number one thing is traffic. Okay? So that is one of the things that are 100% essential to your success as an online entrepreneur, as an online digital marketer, is you have to have traffic. Same thing as if you have even a brick and mortar store. If you own a bakery or a restaurant or something and you don't have traffic, if you don't have customers coming in to buy your product, you're screwed. It's very tough to have a business when people aren't walking in the door to buy your stuff. So, cool. How do you get traffic? Well, you could use free traffic like social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all of those things. And when it comes to free methods of driving traffic, you sometimes have to be a little more creative. You sometimes have to be very consistent, very, very consistent, put a lot of value out there. And it's also, if you think about this, driving free traffic also is going to take up more of your time because of the consistency that you have to drive with that. So if you're constantly making videos for YouTube's for Facebook, Facebook Lives for Facebook, if you're creating all these cool posts for Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter, those things obviously take time. So, however, they can result you in good, consistent traffic flow if you're doing it consistently and effective. Another great way is using paid traffic and constantly keeping traffic flowing. And this is the whole point of this, is by having good, and I stress the word good because you can just go buy crap traffic and you can also get crap result. That's just what it is. But if you get good, solid traffic and you keep it flowing consistently, now you can do that with paid traffic. There's many different forms of paid traffic. You can use, paid traffic through social media. So Facebook ads, YouTube advertising, Instagram advertising. You can use paid traffic to get more people clicking on your link. You can use solo ads, again, Facebook ads. But specifically when it comes to paid traffic, the biggest recommendation that I can give to you guys is build a consistent plan. And I've talked about this on other webinars too, where, you have a 90 traffic plan. So you don't just say, all right, I'm going to go buy 500 clicks, and then it's going to be like, yeah, I'm on the top of the world. I'm on the top of the leaderboard. Everything is right as rain. All I had to do is buy 500 clicks, and now I'm making $10,000 a month. No. Okay? You have to be consistent with your traffic, because finish the sentence for me. You guys know where I'm going. Consistent traffic leads to consistent
Results.
There you go. Right in, come out of the Windy City. Consistent traffic leads to consistent results. So if you're not driving traffic consistently, you will not be getting consistent results. Okay. So that is more of the first thing, the number, one essential thing that you guys need in your business to have success online. You have to have flowing, consistent traffic. And the more traffic you have, the more results you get. It's that simple. The more people click on, it's just a numbers game. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game. So the more people that click on your link, the more people see your opportunity, the more people buy your product or join your opportunity. So keep it simple, guys. Don't overthink. You got to do all this weird, crazy stuff in order to drive traffic. Pick one thing, get good at it, get that going, and then while that thing's going in the background and running and it's kind of automated, then you can maybe learn another skill, but constantly keep the traffic flowing. Because guess what? Here's, at the end of the day, if you run out of traffic, what else runs up? Your results start to go like this. If the traffic stops flowing, so does your income. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. To have traffic going, and always too, lead from the front. Okay? So what do I mean by that? Now, for me, with my team, just my team alone, we now have over 640 active people on our team. I'm not saying because we have over 800 and something, but people quit, people stop, people fail, whatever. We have over 640 active people on the team. All right. So if I stopped driving traffic as a leader, if I stopped driving traffic, those results would slow down, and I can't just sit back on cruise control and expect, I can't just be like a do what I say, not what I do type of guy. I can't go, all right, guys, I've done my work. Now everybody else drive traffic. Like that doesn't work. So who would Shane be, or who would want to be to say, all right, hey, I put in my 2 people. I'm done. Everybody else can now do their part. You got to keep driving traffic. Traffic fuels the team. Traffic fuels your business. Traffic fuels your wallet. Traffic fuels the money in your bank account. So never stop driving traffic. Find ways to drive traffic. Now, Juana, in the last couple of months, you've picked up a skill, I would call it, when it comes to advertising and driving traffic. Why don't you share with everybody, what you see as some, I guess, really key tips to being consistent with your traffic?
Yeah, both of them are great. So free traffic is amazing. Paid traffic is even better just because it makes everything so much faster. But when you can combine the two, that's when you really see results. And I see a lot of people either picking one or the other. But I really encourage you guys to try to pick at least one social media and one source of paid traffic, whichever you're more comfortable with and you want to learn first, and combine the two. You always have to be active, either Facebook or Instagram or whatever you use, and you have to show up every single day. And I like to do more of an attraction marketing kind of thing. I hate when people just spam me their link in my Facebook Messenger, for example. I automatically just delete them, and I don't want to be friends with that person. That's not the way to do business. So just like we talked about, Shane said, you go out and you find something, a good book, a good video, anything that you can learn from. You do it yourself, and then you teach it to others. So for me, I prefer Facebook and Facebook Lives. Every time I read something new, and it can be a quote that inspired me for that day, or something that I heard somebody else say, it doesn't matter what it is, I'll jump online, do a quick Facebook Live, and offer it back to you guys. You always have to package it back so it sounds like you. You don't just, copy it from somebody else 100% the way they did it, because that's not cool. But you repackage it as long as it sounds like you can use other people's ideas, and that's fine. It's something you learn, you put it into practice, and then you teach it back to others. But you have to do that consistently. I'm still working on getting up to doing lives 5 times a week. That's my goal. But doing that, it will attract people to you. You're going to be surprised if you stay consistent, or if you make a challenge with yourself to do, let's say, a week or 2 of Facebook Lives Monday through Friday or something like that. Your engagement is going to go up and up and up, and then people are going to start reaching out to you. Hey, I saw your video. What are you doing? How are you getting the results? What are you involved in? And from there, you start a conversation. Don't ever just give your link to them the first time they approach you. Try to see what they're doing. Are they really serious about this? You don't really want people in your team that are just going to be there for a day and then quit. Make sure that they've made the decision. Make sure that they really want this, and then share your opportunity with them. Walk them through, help them grow, and all that. Paid traffic. I picked my first source, solo ads. They're easy to do. From all of them, they're the easiest to do because you don't have to do anything technically. All you do is go out there and find a few reputable vendors that will get you good results, and you send them your link. If you're good at email marketing, you can also send them your copy, and they will use it. Most of them, they'll say, sure, why not? But you don't have to. You don't know what to say. They'll create the copy for you. And that's it. You're basically paying them to use their big lists to get people onto your option. It is the easiest one to do. Ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, or Bing ads, you have to know the work, and you have to check every day, and you have to know what you're doing. But they're learnable. Anything is learnable in this business, which is the really, really cool part about it. So that's my advice for you guys. Create something amazing for free traffic, something that's along the lines with what you believe in, and don't be shy. Share what you think, share what you believe in, and people will be attracted to that because you're sincere and you're honest, and people for that. And then choose one paid traffic to learn in the beginning, whichever it is, and go with that for at least 90 to 120 days until you have that down. After that, pick the next one and you keep on going. There's always something new to learn in this business, which is awesome.
So I hope you guys are writing that down, because one of brought up 2 very, very good points. Come up with a free strategy consistent with that, and a paid strategy. And I mean, that's a great way, especially if you're brand new. I mean, those are 2 solid tips that you guys can use and you guys can start implementing like today, like right now, and you can start and just get consistent and write your goals down, write your vision down, and write down your plan, your traffic plan over the next 90 to 120 days, and what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and just stay consistent. Now, Shane, when you first came on board, you were doing something similar to what I was doing. You were using solo ads. You were staying consistent with traffic that way, and then you also kind of developed something along the lines. And I, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's simultaneously, like while you had your traffic running in the background, that's when you took the time to learn a new skill, and now that new skill is working very, very well for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of solo ads, especially when you're just getting started and you really don't, you don't have a lot of experience marketing online, advertising online. The quickest thing to do to start getting traffic to your site is talk to a solo ad provider. like the one we have sitting right here. She can help you out with that. So I'm a big fan of solo ads, but at the same time, I recognize that, a lot of times with solo ad providers, you generally have to come up with a few $100s, or, it just depends on pricing up front, as opposed to Facebook marketing and PPC, Google Ads, those types of things, where you can actually set a budget for, say, $5 a day, and as you kind of tweak your ad and you kind of tighten it up, you can actually start scaling that to a day, $50 a day, whatever you're comfortable with. I will say I want to just basically make sure that people are aware of a very common misconception with paid ad, that if you invest $1, you're going to get $2 back in return, and that's just not. It could happen, right? But it's not a realistic to think that you're going to invest $1 and get $2 back. So it's very important to create a budget, understand what your budget is and what you can afford to do, and that way you really not break that budget, because it's super easy, especially when you first get started with paid advertisement, to first of all, I got to admit, I spent a lot of money learning what I know now. It's cost me a lot of money to do that. So create your budget, stick to that budget. Do not go over that budget until you are ready, until you've started seeing consistent results, and then you can start scaling that. You guys don't want to know what I'm spending every single day on my ad campaigns at this point. But I've taken a lot of time to tweak my ads, to tweak my funnels, and I do that consistently, by the way. I consistently change things up to tighten those campaigns up, and it's taken me a long time to get to where I am now. So campaign, making sure that you're constantly A/B testing. Essentially, you're testing your funnels. You can put 2 funnels out there and see which one does the best. There's some technical skill behind that with PPC, with Google, but day plan with your budget and your seeing something on here. Are we still live? Oh, yeah, we're good. Sorry. Staying consistent, making sure you have that budget so you can stay consistent over that 90-day period, and you don't literally just spend all your money in the first week of paid advertisement. It's super easy to do. Trust me. I honestly almost got to the point where I pretty much broke myself and wasn't going to be able to continue. But luckily, I was able to sit down with my wife, my partner, and kind of budget things out. And we're now on a budget, and things are going great. And I'm seeing very consistent. But a lot of that had to do with budget. So making that plan, sticking to it. As far as like free traffic is concerned, yeah, when it comes to free traffic, you're not going to be able to scale as quickly. So, realize that, go into it with that mindset and be consistent every single day. One thing that I do want to do is get into live Facebook, on my personal page. I've been kind of resistant to posting things on my personal page because I do have a lot of family and friends and personally that I live around, and I've just kind of been resistant to it because I don't want to feel like I don't want them to feel like I'm bombarding them with my offer, but at the same time, who cares, right? I mean,
the comfort zone, the bubble that you're in is when they first started on the line. Like, I don't want to pitch this to my friends and family, but there's also a point in time, and sometimes people that time frame is real short. Sometimes that time is longer, but sometimes you just got to say, what the heck? And you got to step aside that. And that's the point of, especially with friends and family, it's a little tougher because you know those folks that they're going to judge you more than somebody that doesn't even know you. So they're going to judge you more. So their opinion might mean more to you, but you also have to realize, circle it all the way back to what we first started about. If you made that decision that I want a specific result, that you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And if that means sharing with your friends and family that this is what I do. I'm an online marketer. I'm a digital entrepreneur. If you don't like that, tough crap.
Yeah.
If you do like it, great, cool. You want to jump on? No? All right, cool. Next, keep going. And you don't even have to pitch it to them, but you can say, this is what I'm doing. And hey, buddy, if you want to do a live on your, on your fan page or your Facebook page, I'm with you. I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
We'll come on
Same
and
here.
we'll, we'll do one together. Drop some nugget value. Just hang out, have a good time. We got it.
That kind of goes back to your struggles, mindset and struggle, and it's like it's taken me a lot longer than some folks, right? But you're right. I mean, some people just don't care right off the bat, and they start they start doing that immediately, and those are the kind of folks that will see results quicker. I feel like that's what I can see anyway. So just stepping out of that comfort zone goes back to stepping out of that comfort zone, and just doing it. Who cares? They don't have to live your life. This is about you and your family or your why, whatever your why is. So who cares what they think, right? Simply going to be doing that, I'm going to get into it and start trying to do that consistently, and just doing Facebook Lives on my personal page. I do have a fan page as well, so that I use. So I'll be posting there as well. But anyway, that's kind of my 2 cents into to this. So be consistent with the plan and make a budget. Make sure you're staying consistent with that budget, so that you don't basically wear yourself out. And get to the point where
I
you
do
can't
want
afford
to
do
jump
anything
real
anymore.
quick on that. I've seen a lot of people in the beginning, just because obviously when we first started Facebook pages years ago, we never, saw ourselves that down the line I might be an entrepreneur. And I do see a lot of people that are just 1,000% not comfortable on sharing their business with family and friends. They do create a second page strictly for business. Same name, everything's the same. It's just they don't friend their friends and family on that page, or they use their lives strictly from their fan page, and that's another way of doing it if you don't want your family and friends to see it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, it's my life. I'm doing whatever I want, and this is how I want to build my future. So if you don't like me, unfriend me. It's that easy.
Yeah. And the truth is if your family love you anyway, regardless of what you do, they're gonna love you anyway.
Yeah, it's just they're the first ones to come back to you, or your really close friends, and ask the question, so I've been watching you doing this for a while. Have you made any money yet?
Yeah.
And that kind of just brings you down for the first 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, well, not today, but tomorrow's another day. It's just the way business is done. It's like, yeah, you can either, be happy for me or just ignore my lives. That you don't have to be there with what I have to say.
100%. So appreciate all the feedback on traffic, and I mean, there's so many great tips here. And Janet brought up a good point in the comments too. Like these guys are bringing up some really good tips and tricks for you guys. So I hope you guys are taking notes. And this is just valuable, everyday, real life stuff, guys. And that's why it's important that weekly we share this stuff. But not only you guys are hearing from me or Joel or Janet or anybody, but we just bring on folks that have been through real life struggles, are getting real life results, and are taking real life action. So they have found a way, and you guys can find a way too. So on to step number 2, and we'll speed this up a little bit as we're coming up on an hour. And I like to keep these to about an hour, but we're going to go a little long, and that's okay because, again, good content, good info, so hopefully you guys can note. So number 1, there's 2 elements to success online. Number 1 is driving traffic, okay? So driving traffic, very, very, very important. So once you start driving traffic, now what do you have to do with that traffic? You have to convert it into sales, or convert it into somebody who's going to join your opportunity and do the same thing that you're doing. So number 2 is conversions. Now, and that's it, guys. That is, in a nutshell, that is building a business online. It's traffic and conversions. Those 2 things, rinse, repeat, continue. That's it. That is your online business in a nutshell. So if you can master those 2 things, start with number 1, start with traffic, focus on driving good quality traffic consistently, and then work on converting that traffic into a sales or a business partner. That's it. And if you just focus on those 2 things every single day, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get results. Period. End of story. And it's easy to take those 2 things and you could get info overwhelm and watch a million videos and blah, blah, blah. But just stay focused on those 2 things. Now, what are some of the first ways that you can, convert people? Well, the first thing you can do is when you're driving traffic is they can watch a VSL, or otherwise known as a video sales letter, which is typically part of your sales funnel, all right? So they go through a capture page, they may or may not watch a bridge video or a thank you video, and then they watch some type of video on the opportunity that you're trying to present to them. So they could watch that video and they could say, yeah, I like what I'm hearing, I like what I'm seeing, let me sign up, and then they become a sale or a business partner, okay? That's one way. Another way is with email marketing. And once they go through what's going to happen on automation? Now you have your emails that are following up with them consistently. Hopefully you have at least minimum 5, 6, 7 days worth of follow-up, maybe even longer. And that follow-up is going out and, hey, that video that you just saw? Well, maybe you might have not seen the whole thing. Maybe you can watch it again. Or if you thought that video was cool, check out this video. Or, you're also in your email marketing, you're creating that phone and you've made a welcome video to say, hey, Dan here, I'm from Derry, New Hampshire. I just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to welcome you to our team. And if you had any questions, my link is either right below or in the email that you received this video on. Get connected with me on Facebook. Oh, by the way, if you want to join my Facebook group, there's the link there too. I'd love to have you on board, love to answer any questions you have. But create action in your email. That will very much help with conversions. Video marketing, like I said, using a video in your email is huge. It's the difference into your inbox, and then like you're leveling up, you're one-upping everybody else that's in your inbox, because you're using video marketing to say, hey, I'm a real person, check me out. And then so video marketing is huge. And having consistent broadcasts. So you have your follow-ups going out, right? And then over time, and if you're brand new in the beginning, I don't personally, anyone that's on my team, I don't expect them to email their list every single day because they're still building their list. But once you get 5, 10, 15, 20 people on your list, then you can start emailing them. Start with 3 times a week, then work up to every other day, and then once a day, and then build that up over your first 30 days. So by the end of your first 30 days, you're brand new to this business. By the end of your 30 days, maybe then you're emailing your list every single day. And your list is simply just the amount of emails that you get of people that go through your capture page. Just by driving consistent traffic, you keep building that list. Then you keep communicating with that list. The more consistent you are at communicating with your list, the better and more conversions you're going to get, period, end of story. Broadcasts, give value, shoot a video, show people how to do something, talk about something, or you can send them a PDF, a training, send them to, doesn't have to be a video of you, send them to a video of a peer of yours who's doing a training that they might learn something. Share a personal story. Say, hey, you know what? The other day, this happened to me. This is how I overcame it. When you can do these things that are here, that are on this slide, and you can do that consistently, you're going to increase your conversions. So you're driving consistent traffic. And now, once the traffic is flowing, you work on this step number 2. You work on these conversions, and you work on ways that you convert. You know, whether it's video marketing, email marketing, a combo of both, sharing stories, sharing value, getting people to, you know, you're trying to build rapport. You're trying to build rapport with these people. You're trying to build a connection with the traffic that is coming in. So those are the 2 things that you have. They are essential for your success online. If you're not doing those 2 things, so you could have a great why, you could have a great burning desire to have success online, but I'm going to be blunt. It doesn't mean squat if you have 0 traffic and you can't convert. You could have the most amount of passion. You could want to change the world and do all kinds of good, crazy things in this world. But if you want to build a business online, if you want to build a successful business, and you're not doing those 2 things effectively, you're not going to have a business. So you have to have traffic, and you have to convert that traffic into sales or a business partner. Plain and simple, end of story. So get good at those 2 things. Now, Juana, I know you have talked about having a good, we'll share these 2 things and then we can wrap it up. You know, Juana, you have worked with, you know, being a traffic provider, you have worked with a lot of your clients on having good, and, you know, share a little bit about that. And just in a second too, Shane, I know you have also used videos of yourself in your emails to follow up with people too, and had some pretty good response from that. You know, Juana, why don't you talk about what you see with people that are brand new getting started and helping them with their email follow-up.
Okay. So it is really, really important to set that, like Dan said, 5 to 7 day follow-up. If you think that, or if you're super, super busy, and you know that you cannot get to doing daily broadcasts after that, set up a longer follow-up just to make sure those people get to know you. And our team will give you guys the first 5-6 days of email follow-ups. And after that, I've heard from a lot of you that you're stuck and you don't know where to pick up or how to create the emails or anything like that. Find some leaders. Find someone that already has what you want, and if you connect with their mindset, get on their list. And you can do that 2 ways. If you see their ad or anything somewhere, just, you know, opt in, and that will put you on their list and you'll get their email follow-ups. Or if you really like what they do, don't be shy to them and just ask nicely, hey, I really like what you're doing. You know, we are on the same mindset and everything. Do you mind if do you mind? Can I jump in? And 90% of the time, people are going to say, sure, why not? Take those emails, read them, and that's your inspiration. Don't copy, though, someone's email 100% and then send it as your own. You can use parts of it, But I would recommend always modifying at least 30 to 40% of their content, and then you can use it as your own. You want that email to sound like you. And we always encourage you guys, if you can, to make personal videos and send out. You can obviously use any of our emails, and Dan has some great trainings and some great videos. But after you use a couple of his, get out of your comfort zone and make a personal welcome video. It doesn't have to be long. It can only be 20 seconds. Just introduce yourself to your list, and that will take you a really long way. Another personal thing that I like to do is on the weekends, usually on Sunday, I will send them a more of a personal video without, or personal picture without actually pitching their opportunity to them. But sometimes I'll just take a screenshot of one of my Facebook posts that I really liked for that week and that I got good engagement on. And I'll just be like, hey, look, this week I came across this and people seem to really love it. Go to my page, connect with me to see more about this. And that creates that personal connection with them. They get to see that you're a real person too. And it just makes, that relationships so much better. So that's technically my advice on how you could get started with emails. And trust me, once you do this for a couple of months and you get inspiration from different people and different leaders, you're going to get so much better and starting to write your own emails. And I'm sure Shane does the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it any better than that as well. I mean, one of the things you gotta know is that you don't have to, right out of the gate, you don't have to be able to create unique content. What you can do is what Juana just said: get on Dan's list, get on my list, get on Juana's list, and take those emails, modify them a bit, and use those until you're comfortable, until you get into that mindset of creating unique content. You don't have to do that right out of the gate. We provide the first, I think it's the 5 emails in the series. And then after that, take my emails and start using those. I mean, I don't care. You can use word for word if that you feel comfortable doing that. You can just take my emails, copy it, and use it. I don't care. We're on the same team. We're trying to get to the same place. Do that, no problem. And then but yes, it would be better if you modified it, made it sound like your words coming from you. Another thing is that when you're creating the email, and Dan teaches this a lot, make sure create a graphic with your face. Use an image with your mug and send that with every single email. That way, people see your face. They immediately recognize that it's from you. And then beyond that, get comfortable with creating personal video. I use Online Sales Pro, so I have my funnels right after the opt-in page into a video where I'm just introducing myself, basically kind of giving them basically just telling them what they're about to see and what to counter. And just so that I can kind of put myself out there and they can see me, hear me, see that I'm just a regular person and there's a real people involved in this opportunity. And then, I do send personal videos out as well, at least once a week to my list. I try to do that. I try to do that more often than not because for me, I'm not a great writer. Some of you may be in the same kind of situation. I don't feel like I'm a great writer, so I feel like I can be more effective with video and just talking to folks just like this. So that's one of the things that I love to do now. It's once you do it once, it's very easy to do again. So if you're someone like me who isn't comfortable with putting yourself out there and putting yourself on your face on camera, just all you have to do it is do it once, and trust me, you'll never think about it again. So, yeah, that's sort of my tips for email marketing. Just make sure you're using an image in every email that you're sending. Create personal video as often as possible, and don't be afraid to take other people's emails, modify them, and reuse them. You don't have to create new content from scratch from the beginning. I mean, you'll get to the point where you do start writing your own emails, but up front, use your mentor's emails if that's what you need to do.
Forgot I was muted there. Yeah, awesome, Shane. I appreciate sharing those. And I'm just going to share my screen live with you guys real quick, just to show you kind of what Shane was talking about there, about having that image. And this is basically the same template that I use in every single email that I send out, whether it's follow-up or it's a daily broadcast. This is the template that I use. So let me just make sure. Hang on 1 second. Just gotta make sure I can do this. Boom. Okay. Boom. All right. Now, let's see. Share full screen. Okay. Shane, Juana, can you guys see my screen? Yeah. So this is, and I'll blow this up as big as I can so you guys can see it here. This is the same. So this is an email that I sent out, and this is coming, obviously I'm on my own email list because I like to click on my links, make sure everything's looking good, etc. So this is the email that I sent out about, it was a replay from a webinar we did earlier this week. And as Shane talked about, this picture right here is at the top of every single email that I send out, whether it's a broadcast, a follow-up, whatever. This is always there. So why do I have this picture there? Because it's branding. It's branded to me, all right? And, here's a hint to you guys. If any of you guys want to get on my email list and just see the content that I send out, then you guys can go to growwithdaniel.com and you guys can see, what I'm sending out. But this is at the top of every single email because it's real life. It brands me, and it also adds a little bit of to. All right, and then I usually have some content right here. Okay, and then I always I would say 98% of the time, 99% of the time, I always have a picture in the middle of the email. And I do that because it breaks up the content so people don't feel like they have to read tons and tons and tons of information. It's like so this is my template. I'm giving you guys a template. Picture at the top, a little bit of content, picture in the middle. And this picture, 99% of the time, almost 100% of the time, will sign people up. Will go to some type of value, some type of webinar, a PDF, something of value to the reader. Okay, I will typically put that link also just above the video that they're going to click on, or video or the picture that they're going to click on. All right. Then a little more content right here. What is a call to action? Okay, there's some type of call to action. So that's my template. Picture at the top, your header, your brand, who you are, a little bit of content, a picture, a clickable picture, clickable video, and then a little more content, and then some type of call to action. Every single email that you send out, there should be some type of call to action. What do you want the reader to do? Are they going to click on something to join something, to get something for free, to do whatever it is? You want to give them something to do, all right? And that's what you do here. And my picture's clickable, so as an example like this one here, if they were to click on that, that's going to go to a webinar that we did earlier this week. And again, another little golden nugget tip here. This helps conversions because we're talking about conversions, right? So I specifically use Online Sales Pro to house all my videos. I don't send people to YouTube. Because when people go off into the world of YouTube, they can, if they were to see this video on YouTube, over on the right-hand side, they'd see tons of other videos where they could easily click on those other videos, and then their focus is not on me anymore. It's on somebody else. It's on somebody else's video. But if you can house that video on a template, on a sales page template, like Online Sales Pro offers, then now when they're watching, they have 3 options. If someone's watching this video, they have 3 options. They could click off the page and say, okay, cool, thanks, not interested. They could get started, or they could join my. So I give them 3 options. When they're on YouTube, they have way more many options, okay? So again, just an idea, but I just wanted to share that with you guys so you can see, like, everyday real life, like that's how I craft my emails, that's how I send my emails out, so you can see that. So other than that, I mean, we've been on a little while now, an hour mark, but all really, really, really good content today, guys. So the 2 most important essential things that you can do for your business is traffic and conversions. Efficiently and effectively, you don't have a business. And I 100%, I want to thank Juana and Shane for coming on. So if you guys are here in the webinar room, or if you guys are there live on Facebook, then give them lots of double taps for sharing their story, for sharing all their valuable content and tips and everything for you guys. So I hope you guys took notes, and if you guys caught this halfway through, go back and watch from the beginning, because Juana and Shane shared some really, really valuable information. So go back, watch this again, get a pen, get some paper, take some notes, and put that stuff into action. These are real life, everyday things that these folks are doing on our team to get results. And Juana and Shane are getting results now. They're driving traffic. They're getting people into their business. They're signing people up. They're converting them. They're bringing them into our team. They're doing these things consistently, and now they are getting consistent results, and you can too. So hope you guys got a lot of value out of what we talked about today. If you have any questions, just reach out to me, Shane, or Juana. Ask us some questions. And other than that, if you guys have questions now, you can plop them in the chat boxes below. And while we wait for that, Juana, Shane, any last advice before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of this can everything that you learned here kind of be tied back to one of the most important I see is just mentorship, training, and getting yourself with things. So if you're new here and someone guided you, you certainly don't want to go at this alone. So make sure that you guys reach out to the folks who guided you. Get involved with their team and their personal groups, if they have personal groups, or if they have team groups, and just be actively involved so that you can continue to grow and be mentored by those folks. And that's how you learn. That's how you're going to get good at email marketing, and that's how you're going to learn how to convert.
That's exactly. Or if we covered anything that you need more details on, just reach out to one of us. We'll be happy to answer your questions or anything like that. And just it will be well worth it.
Yeah, as simple as it is, just take massive, massive imperfect action. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about getting everything right at the beginning, because I like to be blunt, and I'm going to tell you honestly, truthfully, from the heart right now, you won't be perfect from the beginning. So just accept it now and be okay with it. It's just like talking to your friends and family about your business. It's just something that you have to accept. plain and simple. When you first start out, you won't be perfect. No, I'm still not perfect. I still screw things up all the time, but I keep going because I made that decision when you go back to the basics. So don't worry about getting everything right in the beginning. Just take massive imperfect action. And as you go along, you will figure things out, just like Shane and Juana shared with you guys over this webinar, is that you guys will figure that stuff out as you go. All right, so don't worry about that.
Good point. Don't worry about being perfect. I'm a prime example of that. I was way too worried about how I'm going to say something, how I'm going to come across. Who cares? Like, who cares if you're not perfect? You don't get it right. So yes, perfection is just a myth. So don't worry about it. Just get out there and do it.
And people like you more when you're not perfect. When they see that you stumble a little bit, say something silly on a video or anything like that, because everybody is. When you have everything super tight up and you just try to memorize it, people can see that, and that's not cool. I mean, you're not a movie. You don't have to be scripted 100% of the time. Just stuck in your mind and probably stay out there and we'll, connect with you.
Yeah, and just to finish this off too, I'll give you guys a life story. I have a group of friends. It's actually funny because the majority of my friends right now are online, and that's just my life. That's my life right now. I have my wife Katie here and my son Lucas, and on the house, but most of my friends that I communicate with consistently are online, and I'm totally okay with that. But I also have a group of real life friends from that I connect with that are here around my neighborhood and around my town and whatnot. And see you later, Seb. And I told them about a little over a year ago. I told them about one of the businesses that I was in, and on all the posts and all the engagement, all the stuff that I was doing on Facebook, one of them reached out to me and he was like, "Dude, like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm building a business online because I'm trying to support my family." He's like, "Oh, well, like a few of us, we just thought it was really weird. We weren't sure if you were okay or not." I'm like, "Yeah, dude,
get that all
fine.
the time.
I'm building a business online because I want to support my family." And I said, to be honest with you, I said, "You should probably take a look at it." And he's like, "Nah, man, I'm all set." And that was one of my closest friends. And did I feel a little defeated? For like 30 seconds. I was like, "Oh man, that's too bad." Because you put this image in your mind that, like, man, he would be so good at this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get this image in your head of all your friends and family that you think would be amazing at this business. Because guess what happens when you say no? You get defeated and you get deflated. Just don't worry about that stuff. If you want to share it with them, go ahead. But don't care about the result. Don't care about the result, all right? Because if you decide on what you want in life and your result and your goals and your dreams and your visions, if you've made that decision, who cares if somebody says no? Because you're going to keep going. End of story, all right? So that being said, let's get this wrapped up. We're on an hour and 25 minutes, but hour and 25 minutes of awesomeness. So Shane, Juana, appreciate you guys. Lots of double taps, lots of love for Juana and Shane for hanging out and sharing their story with us. So appreciate everybody, all the feedback, all the questions, everybody jumping on board. And
I said, thanks for having us.